What up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Horrors, and it's just me tonight. And we got a few things to go over. Susan wants to cooperate with me. There we go. What? Why is that? That was weird. I did send an invite to the Horror Freak 85, but he is at a convention. So when he's not busy, he might pop in, but he's out having fun. We have a few different things. I was going to talk about a few different movies I've watched in the last few days. Plus, I have some articles. I should probably get this closer so you can hear me better. I forgot to put this over here. Hopefully, you can hear me now. And if you hear the air conditioner, I'm sorry. It is really hot. But we got a few things to go over. Let's see. I think we're going to go over the news article stuff first so I could get rid of some of these tabs. So here we go. Oh. Screen. Now, I just saw this. I have not seen the article yet, but this was extremely funny to me. TMZ wrote an article. It says Friday the 13th star, the Friday the 13th isn't scary for me. Best day of my life. It's an article about Kane Hodder, except this is not Kane Hodder's Jason that they used for the picture. This is the fake Jason. They could at least put Kane Hodder's Jason. I shared this article on my Facebook and I said, TMZ, tell me you know nothing about these movies without telling me you know nothing about these movies. I mean, they could at least use the correct Jason, for God's sakes. But I'm not going to get into that too much because I wasn't planning on talking about this one. But I got cracked up. I saw this literally. That's why I was kind of running late because I saw this article and I was laughing too hard because they put the wrong Jason for Kane Hodder article. All right, so we're gonna get off of that. Nobody in yet. Okay, let's go on to the next. And unfortunately, we did lose Fred Ward on Friday the 13th. He was 79. I'm not sure why yet. I haven't seen an article saying, because it says here it was unclear and this was yesterday. So I'm not sure what that. So hopefully people were watching Tremors and remembering Mr. Ward yesterday and today. And then, what else can we talk about? Go to the next. I thought this was interesting. I actually watched another trailer on this earlier today. All new shark bait clip features human legs being turned into chum. I watched the trailer to this and it actually looks pretty good. It says, what would you do if you ended up trapped out in the sea on a jet ski? I would be a bit on the terrified side. For one, you could be baking in the sun. For two, there'd be sharks in the water. And of course, you would be lost surrounded by loud, bitchy humans. That's the basis of Shark Bait story. Excuse me. In the Shark Bait clip, all nightmares come true when a girl is trying to help her friends out of a situation, accidentally pulled further into danger. No pun intended. As you can see, the water gets snagged. Oh, as you see, a watch gets snagged on an item of clothing, causing the girl to get rushed into the depths of the dark, cold ocean. It becomes a struggle to unfasten the watch before the poor girl ends up being seconds for the shark meal, and that shows her with the stabbing. And what it looks like is they kind of used stock footage of sharks and just kind of clipped it into like the actors. So it looks like the shark is pretty good. That might be a little CGI, I'm not sure, but it looks like a decent enough movie. Definitely something I am going to be watching. Of course, if it's a shark movie, I'm going to watch it. And then let's go on to our next thing. I thought this was kind of interesting. Dee Snider will be directing a scary movie. Pre-production starts next month. I don't know why it's no, I don't go away. I don't know why it's showing House of a Thousand Corpses on the picture, but whatever. In 1998, Twisted Sister frontman Dee Snider wrote and starred in underrated horror film Strange Land, and far more than 20 years he has been struggling to get a sequel to that film into production. He had hoped of turning his Strangerland character Captain Howdy into the next big horror icon, but it just hasn't worked out in that way. While he still wants to make a Strangeland sequel someday, Snyder has also been developing other projects recently. Yesterday, he took to Twitter and announced that one of his genre projects had been getting a green light into pre-production next month. So, sounds pretty good. So hopefully we'll get something from him. I have no clue why they're using a picture of House of a Thousand Corpses with this. It makes absolutely no sense, but whatever. Unless he had something to do with that that I'm unaware of. All right, let's go on to the next one. Another shark movie to talk about. Shark horror film The Reef Stalked swims onto Shudder this summer. So a sequel to The Reef, which is a really good shark horror movie if you have not seen it, comes to Shudder. I'll just call Shudder instead of the streamer. That sounds silly. This July. RLJE Films and Shudder have acquired the North American rights to the horror film The Reef Stalked. The film will be released in theaters, on digital VOD, and streaming on Shudder July 29th of this year. Written and directed by Andrew Traki? I don't know. Blackwater. I wonder if that's the crocodile movie. If it is, then that is really good. So, as a follow up to his 2010 film The Reef, The Reef Stalked stars Teresa, that person from Vampire Diaries, somebody else from Cowboy Bebop, and somebody else from Boschek. I don't know. Kate Lister from Clickbait, and Tim Ross from Wonderland. I have not seen any of that stuff, so okay. So hopefully those actors are good. In The Reef Stalked, Nick, in an effort to heal after witnessing her sister's horrific murder, travels to a tropical resort with her friends for kayaking and diving adventure. Only hours into their expedition, the women are stalked and then attacked by a great white shark. To survive, they will need to band together, and Nick will have to overcome her post-traumatic stress and face her fears to slay the monster. So, if it's anything like the first Reef, this is going to be great. So, I'm really excited about that. So, hopefully, we're going to be getting some really good shark movies coming up in the future. We got the new Reef coming up. Shark Bait looks really good. I know Bull Shark is already on Tubi. I have not gotten the chance to see it yet. I don't know how good that's going to be. There's another one. Horror Freak 85 just stopping in a second Reef. Yep, there's going to be a sequel to The Reef that will be coming to Shudder in July. So that'd be something to look forward to. Hopefully you're having fun. Let's go to the next thing we could talk about. And we got this Devon Sawyer. I cannot say his name. Returning to Chucky for season 2 as a new character. Was he going to be like a triplet now? Despite dying not once but twice in the TV series Chucky, the familiar name joins the cast for season 2. Devon Sawyer played twins Logan and Lucas Wheeler in season 1, both meaning gruesome demise, and as he will be coming back for season 2. So this will be interesting to see. Are they going to make him triplets? Are they just going to pretend that he doesn't look like the other characters? Or what are they going to do with that one? So that'll be exciting to see what they do with that. I like the Chucky TV series, so we'll have to see. I also seen this. Go away, ad. Kirby is back. Hayden, this I'm not even going to try, signs on for Scream 6. If I remember correctly, she was like the horror nerd in Scream. Was it 4? 3 or 4? I don't remember. Oh, starred in, I guess it'd help if I scroll down to the article. It says right there, Scream 4. So it just announced that she has closed the deal to reprise her role as Kirby Reed in the latest installment of Spyglass Media and Paramount Pictures. So she was in 4, and I know a lot of people really liked her character. She, I also seen a lot of rumors that Matthew Lillard is coming back, but I also saw those rumors. I haven't found a legit article. I have found articles, but I haven't found a legit article yet saying that Matthew Lillard, but that was a rumor for 5 as well. So I don't know. But for sure, Kirby is coming back. I can't get over that name. It's kind of weird. I would hate to be named after a vacuum cleaner. Cute name, though. But yeah, so I'll be excited to see her come back. Hopefully, I won't see no spoilers on that one that will piss me off before I get a chance to see it. So let's go into one of the last articles, and then we'll start talking about some movies. And we got a Terror Train remake October of this year. So this should be interesting. If you haven't seen Terror Train, it's basically a magician. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and David Copperfield was in it. We actually saw this on Shudder not too long ago. I remember back in the day, David Copperfield was like just the thing. Everybody absolutely loved him and all that. So it was like a Halloween themed bash that's on a train. And then, we got the magician that's on there. So who's even a popular magician right now that could take place of David Copperfield? I don't even know of any. Who was that one dude that was popular for a while? I can't think of his name. David Blaine. Is he even around anymore? Is he popular anymore? I don't know. I don't know of anybody that I've heard of being a real popular magician in a long time. I think David Blaine's the last one I heard of. And of course, before him was David Copperfield. Honestly, didn't know that he wasn't even in a movie before I seen Terror Train. So, be exciting to see. I don't know who would be the magician they use unless they don't use a real magician and just use some actor to pretend that they're a magician. I don't know. Next, we're going to start in and talk about our first movie. But I'm going to pull up this article about it first. So I got to pull up my notes here for a second. Gotta find it. Okay, here it is. I got several movies I want to talk about. So, Bloody Disgusting talks about the sadness and gory virus movie that goes for the jugular with transgressive extreme horror. If you have not seen this movie yet, I highly suggest watching. It is extremely bloody and extremely gory, but it's not just like gore for gore purposes, basically. And I don't know how well they get into. I'm just gonna kind of scroll through pictures because I don't know if they give away spoilers, and I do not want to give away spoilers. But this train scene was crazy. Like, this dude gets stabbed, and it's just like a volcano of blood, more than what is shown in this picture, just comes pouring out of this poor dude. And you see there's blood already all over the floor in this train. This train scene is freaking crazy. And then we got this dude. This dude, if you know anything about nice guys, this dude is a nice guy on the train, and then he gets infected, and then he starts going. He's not somebody you want to root for. And then this girl is like the main girl revolving around the story. And then this girl here was on the train. And then there's another picture with the girl that was on the train that had an eye injury. You see there's just body parts everywhere. But we're going to stop sharing that because in case there is spoilers in there. But yeah, The Sadness, it started streaming on Shudder on Friday. The synopsis is: when a virus spontaneously mutates, it gives rise to mind-altering plague. The streets erupt. Excuse me. Into violence and depravity. Excuse me. As those infected driven to enact the most cruel and ghastly things they could think of: murder, torture, rape, mutilation, or only the beginning. And I thought, I was like, nah. But yeah, it is crazy. A young couple is pushed to limits of sanity as they try to reunite amid the chaos. The age of civility and order is no more. There is only sadness. And if I remember correctly, that is the name they give the virus. Note, the sadness contains graphic and extreme violence, and they are not kidding on that. It does contain graphic and extreme violence and gore, as well as brief strobe light effects at the end credits, which I'm not sure why they put that. There is brief strobe lights at the end credits, but the credits roll for a little bit before that, and it doesn't last for very long. So I don't know if that would trigger epileptic thing or not. I didn't think it was that bad. Plus, the credits roll for a little bit before that happens. So if you do have effects with that, just as soon as the credits start rolling, dip out, because it does have the credits roll for a little bit. But this came out in 2021, and it dropped on Shudder on the 12th of this month. It will have subtitles because the language is Mandarin, and it's 99 minutes long, and it says it's a Shudder original. So I'm not sure about that. Because I think it went to the theater. I don't know. It said it was a Shudder original anyway. For the ones that just popped in, I am talking about The Sadness. I am doing my best not to give away spoilers. One person already dipped. That's cool. I forgot to turn down the Alexa, but the dog's outside, so there won't be no barking. The virus is in the same family as rabies. There are signs of the mutation at the very beginning of the movie. They don't really waste much time into this. The infection is also instantaneous. So basically, as soon as you get infected, you start going crazy. This also has a grease melted person. I am not kidding. The creepy lady, if you've seen the trailer, the creepy lady in the trailer is right at the beginning. There's also a really weird cartoon that they play for a little bit. It has wolf cartoon sex. There's finger chopping, tons and tons. I put lots of blood, but that's like an understatement. There's lots of blood. I mean, the scene alone probably almost surpasses most. Mr. Bones comes here for that. Boom. Ready or not? Nice. Right now, I'm talking about The Sadness. If you have not seen that movie, I'm trying not to give spoilers, but I am talking about The Sadness. Um, and there is references to rape as like one of the things that's in this. It doesn't get graphic into it. It's basically implied that it is happening. If you have issues with that movie, it's not graphic, it doesn't show anything, but you get the sense it is happening. And it's also not related to one sex. It doesn't matter who you are, you will get raped. There is sodomy. There is raping of everybody. Basically, it only has like a couple scenes with it, to be quite honest. But like I said, it's not graphic. You don't see anything. So, but there is references to it in there. There's also skull fucking that is implied. You do not see it. Um, there's also a bloody orgy. There is a little bit of nudity in there. It's like a couple boobs and a bare man's butt. Oh, don't miss out on that, Mr. Bones, just because of that. This movie is great. I seriously, you like I said, you do not see. It's not graphic. It's more implied that it is happening. But yeah, this movie is great. Shutter has this rated as 5 out of 5 skulls. That's people who's watched this movie that have rated it. IMDb gives it a 6.4 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10. This movie is just great. The IMDb trivia says this film was funded with a mix of cryptocurrency and the revenue from producers of a cam girl business. So that's interesting. And this film was made as it was a Taiwanese film, but yeah, this movie is just bonkers. It has so much blood, so much violence. Like I said, there are hints of rape, but it's not graphic. You don't really see it happening, and it's not one sided. Um, there is a man that gets raped. I think it somewhat implies a woman gets raped, and then there's the skull fucking was not it was not uh consent involved, I guess I put it that way. But you don't see anything, it's all implied. This is extremely bloody. A lot of people are calling this zombies, but it's a form of rabies, kind of like record and quarantine or 28 days later. But that was a rage virus. It's not really the same, but a lot of people are calling it zombies, and I'm not really sure why, because they're not undead, and they can be killed really easily. So I'm really confused why there's a lot of people calling this a zombie movie. I'm not sure why, unless in Taiwanese or whatever, or Taiwan, I guess they think that's zombies. I'm not really sure. Um, there is also implied baby deaths, but like I said, it's also implied. You do not see anything. I have an issue with those type of movies with the baby deaths, and I was fine with that. But yeah, definitely, I would not miss out on this movie. It is just absolutely bonkers. Everybody's talking about it right now. It's definitely something to watch. The first person to get raped is a man. Um, But like I said, you don't see anything, it's all implied. Like, you know what's happening, but it's not showing it's happening, basically. It's not graphic whatsoever. The blood and murders and everything is a lot more graphic than that. But it's basically part of the symptoms, I guess I would call it, of this virus. It makes like all the badness of you come out and make have you have an urge to kill and do everything wrong. Um, Basically, let's see. What should I think I'll talk about a lighter movie next, but I definitely highly suggest The Sadness. You'd be missing out, especially if people have issues. A lot of people have issues with subtitles. Honestly, there's not much of a story plot, is so you could probably get away with not really paying attention to the subtitles, but definitely, definitely, highly recommend this movie. Next, I'll talk about The Lost City. It is not a horror movie whatsoever. It came out this year and it's like an hour and 52 minutes long. It's a reclusive romance novelist on a book tour with her cover model gets swept up in a kidnapping attempt that leads them both in a cutthroat jungle adventure. The movie sounds like I need a shower after blood shower. Honestly shocked that they didn't have a blood shower in that movie. In The Sadness is so much blood, but yeah, there's going to be a lot more blood and violence compared to the other things I talked about. But definitely, I would definitely highly recommend this movie. It's, the stuff that you're worried about is not really near as bad as the violence and the death scenes and stuff like that. Back to the Lost City. This is the one with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum in it. Um, Stephen Lang is actually from Don't Breathe is actually in it for a little bit. You do not get a close up of him, but I did recognize him quite a bit. He only has like a few lines. It's kind of in the beginning. Brad Pitt is in it, and Oscar Nunez. He is Oscar is hilarious in this movie. Um, he is the plain guy. I put him in my notes. There's tons of sex jokes in this. It's more about silly wordplay sex jokes, and there is a cut scene in the credits, so don't bail as soon as the credits hit. They make Channing Tatum look like Fabio back in the day, and this also has Daniel Radcliffe in it, and we had a lot of fun watching this movie. Um, it's like an action comedy romance movie. It's on Paramount Plus right now. IMDb gives it a 6.4 out of 10, and I gave it a 6 out of 10. We watched it and had a lot of fun watching it. Spider Man. I'm not sure what Spider Man in the comics has. I must have missed something. Unless somebody else talked about was in Spider Man. Oh, yeah, it's Harry Potter, not Spider Man. Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. I was wondering what you talking about Spider Man. But yeah, it's on Paramount Plus right now. We just watched it the other day and we had a lot of fun watching it. Daniel Radcliffe is in a weird movie or owl movie. Oh, weird owl movie coming out. Oh, oh yeah, I remember hearing them about that. He plays Weird Al. That should be interesting. Yeah, he's got some interesting characters. I'm glad to see him kind of branching out and going on and not kind of sticking with like the call I guess the Harry Potter theme. I don't know how else to put it. Next, I was going to talk about the new Firestarter. This is on Peacock. If you have Peacock, it dropped on the 13th. It's like an hour and 34 minutes. I still need to watch Guns. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I do too. I've been meaning to watch that forever. I've had it on my. I know it was on Prime. Have you seen Swiss Army? I have seen Swiss Army Man. I wasn't super fond of Swiss Army Man. Yeah, I like the new Firestarter as well. Where was I at in my notes? Oh, a young girl tries to understand how mysteriously she gained power to setting things on fire with her mind. IMDb gives it a 5 out of 10. Zach Efron, which I was really impressed with Zach Efron. He plays the dad. Michael Green Eyes, or Gray Eyes, excuse me. I think that was a typo in my notes. Um, he he is from Quantum. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you haven't seen Blood Quantum, that is a Canadian zombie movie that used to be on Shudder. I'm not sure if it still is, but definitely highly recommend that movie as well. Um, but he is a Plains Cree tribe from Canada, and the Sydney Lemon is Isabel from Fear of the Walking Dead. She plays the mom. Uh, Kirkwood Smith is in it, and John Beasley. He is Papa Rico from The Purge, Anarchy, Blood Claws, Blood Claws. What? No, Blood Quantum. It's a movie on, like I said, it used to be on Shudder. I'm not sure if it still is. It's a Canadian zombie movie, but Gray Eyes is in that movie. Um, but Michael Gray Eyes is in this movie as well. I was just kind of relating so you know who I was talking about, but I guess people haven't seen Blood Quantum. But it's a Canadian, Blood Quantum is a Canadian zombie movie, and they get pretty creative. Like they use what are those called, tree chippers or whatever. They have those, like what Dale and Tucker versus Evil, where the guy jumps into the thing and he just like gets mutilated. They use that very creatively against the zombies. But Michael Gray Eyes plays a character in the new Firestarter, and I said Zach Efron. He is in it. He plays the dad to the little girl. This is Blumhouse. There is a cat death in it. It's somewhat graphic. Um, and one thing I thought was a little confusing, kind of plot hole, I guess, is like she's trying to harness her powers. The little girl, um, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie is her name, and she sets a couple little forest fires, and then after that she just automatically has it harnessed and off we go. But yeah, it's just like, oh, just a couple of forest fires and I'm good. But still, I like this movie. And also she also has mind control and can move objects, so she basically has powers from both parents plus fire. I do not remember that one from uh the first movie. I'm not sure if it's in the book or not. I will say this movie does have some decent effects in it. So definitely recommend this. A lot of people are hating on it. I think they're just hating on it because it's a remake. But I gave it a 6 out of 10. What up, Hobbs? But yeah, I enjoyed the new Firestarter. I thought they did pretty well on that. I didn't revisit the old one with Drew Barrymore. As far as I remember, she only had fire powers. I don't think she was able to have mind control and the power to move objects as well. So I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but I don't remember that being in the first movie whatsoever. What's all going on with you guys? If Remake spell, check it out. I enjoyed it. Next, I was going to talk about the new Candyman. This movie came out in 2021. I just finally got around to seeing it because it dropped onto Prime on Friday. It's like an hour and 31 minutes. IMDb gives a 5.9 out of 10. This is the sequel to the first Candyman from 92. Yeah, I also don't really. I didn't really remember the first Firestarter. It's also on Peacock. I was trying to knock out some of these newer movies, so I had something to talk about. So I didn't revisit the older Firestarter. But I honestly do not. But I haven't read the book either. But I honestly do not remember her having mind control, like being able to control people with their minds. Like that was the dad's power. I do not remember Charlie having that power at all. And I don't remember her being able to like move objects because that's her mom's power. I do not remember her having those powers whatsoever. But she has it in this movie. They use the mind control a little bit more than the moving of objects, but she does have both of those powers along with the fire in this movie. So that may or may not be different. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's see. Yeah, this is a sequel from the 92 film, uh, going back to the Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. And the synopsis: the housing projects of Cabrini Green neighborhood has been terrorized by a killer. Now Anthony McCoy and his girlfriend have moved into a luxury loft and in the now gentrified area, and encountered with a resident exposes Anthony to the story behind Candyman. Coleman Domingo is in this movie. If you do not know who he is in he plays Strand from the Fear of the Walking Dead. Um, the lead guy that plays Anthony, I'm not sure if I'm going to say his name correctly, but he was Mateen in the Aquaman movie. He was also played the new Morpheus in the Matrix Resurrections. Um, I think it was the girlfriend is Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, and Virginia Madsen has Helen Lyle's voice. I'm pretty sure that was Helen Lyle in the first movies. I forgot to look that up. And Tony Todd reprises his role, kind of. Yeah, that is true. He was cool in Game Man. I can't stand his character in Fear. But to be fair, you're not supposed to like Strand. So I think he does that really well because Strand is not a good guy. So yeah, you're not supposed to really like Strand. But I think Coleman Domingo does a really great job. But one thing I was confused about this movie. Now I'm going to call these plot holes. I don't know. This movie left me with a lot of questions, and that's one thing I don't like about movies. Fear was tight. Loved the movie. Nice. As Anthony dude gets stung by bees, like out investigating like the Candyman thing. He's out like taking pictures and stuff. He gets stung by a bee. They ends up deforming his whole arm and then going up his neck. Was the bee supposed to like transfer the Candyman thing to him? I don't know. I was super confused about that. How the bee sting was like making his arm just completely disfigure. Um, I got about 30, 40 minutes in. I fell asleep and I had to start back up. So I went, so yeah, I was getting kind of bored and I fell asleep. Um, the, then the dude told himself, must go faster. He was telling, must go faster to get away from Candyman. Why would you tell yourself must go faster? That just seemed weird. Um, I think that was one of the first dudes that gets killed. I just put dude, I didn't put a name. And there was this art gallery and where some of the first kills happen. And there's like this drape because they're like projecting like a movie or something in this art gallery. And they cut the drape a little bit, and when the drape just falls down, it looks fake as fuck. I'm sorry. I don't feel bad. I fall asleep in a half movie. I do fall asleep quite a bit in the movies too, but I don't know. I just got super bored on this one. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I'm not saying it's awful. I wasn't super into this movie. There's also a flash, like the girlfriend, she discovers the bodies in the art gallery. And then there's a flashback scene of her watching her dad jump out a window. Why? And it's like flashing back and forth between that and um, her discovering the body. It's like, why does that matter? I don't understand why that matters on that, but whatever. I don't understand what the connection is besides her just discovering bodies. I don't know. I think it takes away from the body discovery. Rewatch it is good. I did kind of rewatch it. I started back where I fell asleep, and I'm not saying it's awful. It's just these are the questions it left me with. Um, but I really think that that flashback to the childhood that had no relation to the story whatsoever while she's discovering the bodies made no sense whatsoever. Unless you can explain to me what that connection is or why it matters, I'll take it. But it took away from the body discovery, quite honestly, in my opinion. And apparently, there's a bathroom vanity mirror. It's basically art if it's hang up in the gallery. I didn't understand why that was such a big deal, but because it had a mirror on it, thus I guess they needed to put a mirror into the gallery so that it's like, oh, we're gonna hang up this 3-panel bathroom vanity. Call it art. It's gonna call. Everyone hit that like the connect. All right, whatever. But I didn't get it, and I don't really want to watch this movie again. I watched it, fell asleep, and I started back at the same point. And this is gonna be like Hereditary for me. Even though I hate Hereditary, I do not hate this movie, but it left me with too many questions that made no sense. Yeah, that's the and it says and the backstory in the beginning of the candy man that gives kids candy that wrongfully gets killed. Yes, but that's the backstory to the man, Anthony, not the girlfriend. The girlfriend just has a random backstory of watching her dad jump out the window that she's, I guess, thinking about while she's as she's walking in to discover these bodies. It makes no sense to me, and it's completely stupid in my opinion. She could have been like having this flashback when she's like talking to somebody about discovering the bodies or something and relate it that way, but I don't know. I didn't like the way that was done. I But everybody has their own opinion. I'm not going to hate on anybody, but and there's also more than one Candyman, and like Mr. Bones says, there's generations of Candyman. That the new actor becomes new Candyman at the end. But yeah, so yeah, there's more than one Candyman. But yeah, I really didn't understand how the bee sting is like decaying his arm and it's going all the way up his neck. It's like transferring the thing to him, whatever. I thought that the bee sting thing was weird. Um, but I thought too much didn't make sense to me. The gay brother, the girlfriend's gay brother, was probably the best character in the whole movie. Absolutely adored him. Um, he was like the best character out of all of them. Then Tony Todd does pop up at the end. This does have some decent effects, but honestly, I'm getting a 3 out of 10. I really didn't like the movie. Besides that brother that was in it, he was like the best character. I mean, Strand was okay. Of course, that's not his real name. Coleman Domingo. I don't remember what his name was in this. He played a decent character, but I don't know. It left me with too many questions and not understanding what was going on in some of the parts. Like, didn't make sense. Like that flashback scene. I'll die on that hill. That makes no sense where it's at. It could have been put somewhere else. But that's my opinion. Then we watched Old. It's dropped on HBO Max on Friday. It was from 2021. It's an hour and 48. A vacationing family discovers that the secluded beach, where they're all relaxing for a few hours, somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives into a single day. This has a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb. This has the only person I really recognize. I'm sure the other ones might be popular, but the only person I recognize was Alex. I think it's pronounced Wolf. That's how it's spelled with an extra F. And he is the boy from the movie I just talked about, Hereditary. Can't stand him in that movie. This is also an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Of course, he is in it as well. Um, but he directed M. Night Shyamalan, wrote the screenplay and directed it, and played the hotel van driver. And this is based on a graphic novel called Sandcastle. But M. Night Shyamalan movies, you just gotta kind of go with it knowing that there's just gonna be a ridiculous, most likely ridiculous twist in this. I will say my husband really enjoyed this movie. It uses kids to kind of use to introduce the characters because one of the kids goes around and asks people what their names and occupations are. It's kind of weird, but some people love Old, but has a weak agreed. That's the twist. He either gets it right or he just completely ruins the whole movie. But I totally agree with you there. The twist got me. I was like, I was in it, and then I was waiting to say, what's this twist gonna be? But yeah, I thought that was weird that this kid. I guess it could be kids that run up and ask people what their names and occupations are, but if that's how you want to introduce your characters, and so be it. Um, but once you're dropped off at the beach, you cannot leave. You start to find out that they are being watched while they're on this beach, and everyone has excuse me, everybody that is on this beach has at least one person in their family member that is sick somehow. And now they don't get sick on the beach, they're sick before they came. That's like the whole purpose of their vacation because somebody in the family is sick in some way or another. I will give the one thing that Alex Wolf, he finally learned how to cry. I That's one thing I criticize him in Hereditary is that boy did not know how to cry. He was literally saying wah, and that's one of the reasons I hate that movie so much. But he did learn how to cry. He done very well in this movie, so he has redeemed himself in my eyes in this movie. I was really with this being an M. Night Shyamalan movie and having the Hereditary kid in it. I was like, I do not want to see this movie. But we watched the trailer and my husband wanted to watch it. Excuse me. So we watched it Friday when it came out. I sure as hell wasn't paying for it. Where is that? Some of the deaths are done really well. I liked how they did that. The twist, I'm going to put it this way, is almost on the same level as The Happening. It has basically a nature vibe to it, a nature related, we'll call it that way. And that'll be the best way I could probably describe it without giving it away. This movie was not awful. I'll give it 6 out of 10. But the twist was just weird. Like, I like The Happening until you find out it's the freaking plants, and then it kind of But before that, the movie's great, and then you find out it's the plants trying to murder people, and they're just like, eh. But this one has kind of a nature related thing as well. It's not really nature fighting back, but it is nature related. Um, I do not want to give too much away with it, but yeah, the ending twists. I don't know. I think he just. I don't know if that was in the. Because I've never heard of the graphic novel Sandcastle, so I have no clue if that is in the book whatsoever. They do make a sandcastle though, so guess that's a callback to the book. Fuck if I know one. But it did enjoy it. I didn't think it was the greatest movie there was, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. The twist was like Mr. Bones says, the twist was kind of weak. It just like really kind of thing. That's what you're going with. You could have made it like basically anything, but whatever. You go on, night. Go on with your bad self. But yeah, the twist will either get you and have you enjoy it, or it's gonna make you like really. That's basically all the stuff I had. All the movies I've watched recently. Went over some news articles. What did you all watch in the last few days? Anything good? I'll go and look, see if there's anything else that we could talk about, since I've went over all the topics that I'd planned to talk about. Pop back over here. Nope. Let's see. Oh, my dog's coming in barreling. Hi, babies. Did you have fun? You've been outside for a while. You're going to need water. Oh, I see in here that in the news, Peter Dinklage's Toxic Avenger is given an R rating, so which is not really surprising. Pop over. Not much going on. Let's see what else we got. Not seeing too much more to talk about. I can't share that one, but sorry, I was looking at different stuff we could talk about if I saw a funny meme, but I can't share it. Oh, Christopher Walken is going to be in the second Dune. Interesting. Hang on, I gotta mute myself for a second. Okay. For the one person sticking around, what have you watched lately? Anything good to talk about? I'm just trying to find something else we could talk about. I've already went over the news. I've already talked about the movies I was going to talk about. So anything that you want to discuss while I'm looking, I can pop back in. I think Christopher Walken would be interesting for Dune. Especially now he's in his little crazy stage. I'm going to find something else we can chat about. Not much. I've already went over pretty much all the. I watched Clownado for Wild Eye Week. Nice. What do you think about Clownado? I like the concept of Clownado. It's actually how I met Dylan Von Harvey. So I did a review on it, and I poorly worded some things, and she commented on my video, and then I ended up seeing Bonehill Row, and what the fuck? Sorry, I saw a weird picture on my Facebook page. Wow. But and she had commented she took it not the way I intended it, and I realized how badly I worded it, so I had reclarified what I meant on when I did Bonehill Road. It was decent and gory. I like how they have, instead of just being like a constant tornado, I actually talked about this in my review, which is really old. I haven't done a review in like forever. But I like how the clowns, they'll just like spin up in the tornado will dissipate, they'll cause some havoc, then they'll get the tornado and then they'll transport them to their next thing. I like how they did that. It wasn't like a constant tornado like Sharknado, but I don't know if it was intended that way, because it was, I think, thought of and done before Sharknado, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it was filmed and released before Sharknado, but I think the concept and the stuff was already started. If I remember, I might not be remembering correctly, but I'm pretty sure when we talked to Todd Sheets, he was saying that was thought of before Sharknado. Oh, I know that was one thing. If you guys haven't seen, James Hong has finally got his Hollywood star. So that's pretty great. It was something else. I saved it. I gotta find out. Oh, What We Do in the Shadows. Season 4 will premiere on July 12th on Hulu. So if you like What We Do in the Shadows, Season 4 will premiere July 12th. So looking forward to that. I love What We Do in the Shadows. It's so funny. Scroll back over, see if there's a... Yeah, it wasn't as cheesy in it as it sounded. It was more like it is poofed up like warlocks, in my opinion. Yeah, kind of. I could see that. I can definitely see that. I gotta share this meme. It's funny. Something I can actually share. Because I have a weird sense of humor, so some of my memes I cannot share. But here we go. When somebody tells me to go fuck myself. I thought that was funny. Let's see what else I can find. Something I can actually share. Oh, Mortal Kombat 2 is teasing new characters. So I wonder if that means new characters that wasn't in the movie or new characters that they just released. Let's pop this article open. While that's loading up, I'll share the screen. We'll read this together. Something new. Mortal Kombat 2 writer teases new characters. The sequel to 2021's popular Mortal Kombat movie is being penned by Jeremy Slater, best known as the head writer and executive producer for Moon Knight on Disney Plus. We have not seen that yet, so I don't know how that is. Slater was not involved with the first movie, but as you expect, he's a big Mortal Kombat fan. Hope to God he's actually a fan, that he actually doesn't ruin it. Here at comicbook.com, we recently got a chance to chat with Slater, who, in addition to confirming that Johnny Cage is in the sequel, thank God, and teased some other new characters. When asked about how much freedom Slater has been given to add new characters, the writer reveals everyone has been flexible. However, adding new characters is a delicate balance, giving all the returning characters from the first movie, which already has a pretty large cast. To this end, Slater suggests fans shouldn't expect a cameo parade. Well, that's unfortunate, but understandable. They're really flexible because a lot of it is just who do we want to see, and a lot of it is who have the fans been really clamorous for because I'm sure you know Mortal Kombat has an increasingly passionate and incredibly vocal fan base on social media, said Slater, and there are people that really want to there yeah and there are people that really want to see these movies and the relationships that they really want to see, and a part of the problem is we've got a lot of returning characters from the first movie that already have a balance. So if the last movie included 10 characters, we can't necessarily turn around and introduce 10 another 10 characters, because then you're dealing with 20 people in a movie, and because of a sort of cameo parade, so you have to really go through and kind of cherry pick who are your 3 or 4 favorite heroes we can add, who are your 3 or 4 favorite villains. Slater continued to drop it off specific names like Katana and Aaron Black. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, though he didn't go as far as confirming these characters. How we introduce some of these great characters, but use them in a way that feels satisfying and doesn't feel like you don't want Aaron Black just to kind of walk by in the background and everybody goes, yeah, that was him. If you're using that character, or you're using Johnny Cage or Katana or Devoran, I'm not sure if I said that right, or any of these characters from the game, you'll make sure that they have a story to tell, and we have to figure out a way to do it in under 2 hours. We have to figure out a way that all makes sense to people who have only seen the first movie or unfamiliar with the lore in the games. We have to get to close to the lore as we can, because the fans, that's what they want to see. So it looks like he's actually going to do something good with this movie, hopefully. So it's very much balancing act. There are certainly going to be people who are like, my favorite character wasn't included this time, just because there have 50 characters at this point and we can't have them all on screen. But I think out of the characters you do see, I think fans are really going to be happy with the interpretations, said Slater. We're really trying hard to make them as cool and as memorable, as fun as possible. Awesome. I am glad to hear that. Yeah, Steven is at Spooktacular. So yeah, he's out having fun. Oops. Notification pop up. But yeah, he is at a con, so that's why I'm here by myself. I did try to get asked one of my friends to come on that also has a YouTube that I know personally, but they wasn't able to join me. I would have been unfortunate. I think we would have had fun talking to that person. I won't say their name because I don't want to blast them out, but I think it would have been fun having them on. But yeah, Steve sent me some mess. I did send him a link, so while I'm on, if he does have a moment, he can pop in. So, but yeah, he's busy having fun without us. How dare he? I'm kidding. But yeah, he did message me some information that I will not disclose, but he did pop-ins and stuff. Have y'all seen this new Rebel Wilson movie yet? Senior year. It dropped on Friday. I think it's like her first movie since she's lost all her weight. I absolutely love Rebel Wilson. And I want to see this. I might watch it when we get off here, but we was also planning on watching either Black Widow or the Eternals. I don't know how well I really want to watch the Internals, but it does have Connie from The Walking Dead in it. I don't know what her real name is. She's the deaf woman. So I'm kind of excited because I do like her. So, but the movie, the trailer looks awful. Haven't seen none of those. But yeah, I do want to see the senior year with Rebel Wilson because I absolutely love her. And the movie looks funny. And she's lost so much weight. It's good for her. She looks great. It's going to be hard to get the concept because you're used to seeing her be a big girl. But she looks great, and I can't wait. I find some other article that we can go over. So I've pretty much already picked up most of the articles. But I do want to see that Rebel Wilson. It's hard for me to say her name. It's hard for me to say anybody's name, to be quite honest. Not too much else going on. I think I've pretty well covered everything. I'm just kind of scrolling through all my news. The Eternals look weird from the trailer. They was sort of like we knew about all this going on. Excuse me, with the Avengers. We could have helped, but nah. Why? I know exactly. That's why I'm just like I watched the trailer and I'm just like I don't know if I want to see this, but like the dude from Stranger Things, Doctor Strange, like his, I called a friend. I don't remember what his character name is, um, but he was in it. And then I saw that Connie played one of the characters. I don't know what her real name, but she's the deaf woman from Walking Dead. She's also deaf in real life. I really like her character Connie, so I'm really hoping that she does well with whatever character she plays in Eternals. I have no clue because I don't know. Like, I never was into comics, so I don't know anything about Shang-Chi. Maybe is no, that's Shang-Chi. That's the other dude who has his own movie. I'm talking about Doctor Strange's buddy, the one that was like guarding the library or whatever. I don't remember his name. I'm super horrible with that. But yeah, he's one of the Eternals. And then Connie from The Walking Dead's another Eternal. Of course, you got Angelina Jolie, which I'm kind of on the fence with. And I don't know what this other dude's name is, but he's a comedian. He was in Stuber with Dave Dave. I can't think of his fucking name from the new zombies Jack Snyder zombie movie. He was Drax, and I'm going blank with names, but Batista. Batista. There we go. I was wanting to put a D in there for some reason, but yeah, he was the cab or Uber driver in Stuber, which is hilarious, and I thought it was hilarious anyway. And he's one of the Eternals too, so at least there's going to be maybe a little bit of comedy if they explore his comedy side, because he is a comedian and he is funny. I have no clue what his name is, but he's funny. And then they got Connie, so I'm kind of excited about some of the characters, but the trailer looks so freaking stupid. Like what you said, the trailer just looks so freaking stupid that I don't want to see it, but I do. So I don't know. I didn't want to see Old either, but as soon as it got streaming for free, I watched it and I broke down. I'm kind of glad I did. I am glad that I did watch Old, even though it was M. Night Shyamalan and I absolutely couldn't stand the kid from Hereditary. But the kid stepped up. He's did a lot better job in Old. So we'll see. We're going to either watch Black Widow, The Eternals, or Senior Year. I think it's called Senior Year, the Rebel Wilson movie. We're going to watch one of those three tonight. I haven't seen Silicon Valley. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, that name looks familiar. I'm not going to try to say it because I know I'm going to butcher it because I'm horrible at that. But yeah, I think that is his name. But I just know he was in Stuber because I went through his IMDb. Oh, there's another movie. What's it called? Shit. Um, see if I could pull up Voodoo. It has the Deadpool's buddy. Oh, what is that? I own this on Voodoo, so I just have to check really super quick because I'm going a blank. I am horrible. Office Uprising. Oh my goodness, if you have not seen this movie, it has the dude that was Deadpool's like taxi driver in it. Let's see if I can. Okay, I think I can share this. All I could tell you is the show and nerds. They work at Google or a place like that somewhere similar to Big. Oh, okay. I've not seen that. I don't even know if I've heard about it, but it sounds interesting. I like Big Bang. We watched that, except it made me crave Chinese food a lot. All right, so we got Office Uprising is a comedy horror. When a slacker at a weapons, I know I can't say that word, don't laugh at me, manufacturing company finds out his coworkers have turned into ravenous zombies after consuming a weaponized energy drink, he must rescue his true love before the office psychotic army descends on them both. And Karan Sony is Deadpool's taxi driver. We got Kurt Fuller in this movie. I'm not sure who these other people. Zach Levy. That name sounds familiar. But oh my goodness, this he has got 3 out of 5 stars. I think that's my rating. But I had fun watching this movie. It was really fun. It's not showing too much, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie. If I think I got it for like $5 on Vudu, maybe less or something, but I bought it on a blind buy, and I basically bought it because dude was in it. But I had a lot of fun watching that movie. I'll have to check out, see where I can find Silicon Valley, because if it's something like Big Bang, I might like it. So as it doesn't make me want like Chinese food all the time, because I was always eating Chinese food, so we'd watch it and I'd get like cravings for like Chinese food. I had something on my leg. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, this Office Uprising. I don't know where you could get it. Like I said, I bought the digital copy on Vudu. I thought it was freaking hilarious. But I had a really good time watching it. I think. What else can we talk about? Since I'm on my voodoo. That one. Oh. For some reason, the post art to Return of the Killer Tomatoes is missing. Yeah, we could just go over. I have nothing better to do. Let's just talk. Let's share screen. Excuse me. So I bought Ghostbusters Afterlife. I got Uncharted. We enjoyed Uncharted. I have the games on my PlayStation, but I've never played them. They had like a set of them free on PlayStation 1 month. So I own games, but I've never played them. Ghostbusters Afterlife, we absolutely love that movie. It's so good. Fast and Furious 9, I bought that for my husband's birthday because he loves Fast and Furious movies. Spy with Melissa McCarthy in it. This movie is funny if you haven't seen it. It has Jason Statham in it and Jude Law, and it's an I can't think of the woman's name. What is that woman's name? Rose Brian? Oh, you can see it right there. I forgot I was sharing the screen for a minute, but we enjoyed it. Thought it was funny. Pop over, make sure I'm not. Okay. I got Black Friday. I got Don't Breathe 2. Wrath of Man. Watch that. It's pretty good. Has Jason Statham in it. And a lot of people are kind of iffy about Black Friday. It has this new Bruce Campbell movie. It's zombies, basically. It's decent. What else? Knife Corp with Kane Hodder. It's pretty good. Great White. Really good shark movie. Get Smart. I like Get Smart. I used to watch the television series. I wasn't like super into it, but it'd be on TV Land on Nickelodeon, and I would watch it. The Autopsy of Jane Doe is really good. I bought Duel because it was in a set, but I haven't watched it yet. And we got Anchorman. Of course, this is where I son Benny Loves You as one of the last reviews I did. Aquarium of the Dead. Unholy with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Been meaning to watch this Unnatural. I couldn't find a physical copy for it anywhere, but it's a polar bear movie. And it's one of those 8 films to die for, which are normally pretty good. So, looking forward to seeing that. I just have to pop over because I can't see the chat. So, I have to pop over every now and then. And we got Flash Gordon. We haven't seen that yet. We got a couple Spider-Man movies. I got all the Men in Black movies. I got Freaky. Blackwater Abyss. We got all the Tremors movies. That's just the newest one right there. Fantasy Island. I know a lot of people hate that movie, but I kind of liked it. Got the 80s Blob. Of course, I got my Antonio Banderas Desperado set, except he's not in El Mariachi, but yeah, Monster Hunter. Oh, God. Sorry for the barking. All the Die Hard movies. Got Krampus. I got Pitch Black. When I bought this, I thought I bought a Riddick pack, but I didn't. I goofed. But I got Unbreakable. I got Peninsula. I got Freaks. Got The Hunt. Eat Brains Love. This is actually on Shudder right now. It's not too bad. It's pretty good. Perfect Host. I absolutely love this movie. I was excited when I found that on sale. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Tarantula. Got the new Scooby Doo cartoon. The Night Watchman's really good. And then I also got Glass and Split. Got the new Sonic. Death Becomes Her. There's the rest of the Tremor movies. I think this was a set, and then I had to buy the new one separately. Doctor Sleep. Zombieland. Knives Out's pretty good. Got the Thing. I got the Jumanji Next Level. I did see an article that there was going to be another Jumanji movie coming soon, but I couldn't tell if it was a legit article. I didn't have time to dive into that, so I'm not sure if that's 100% true or not. We got the Indiana Jones. I got the Crocodile Dundees. Of course, we got the Lord of the Rings. Make sure there's no comments real quick. What the hell is that picture of? I know the second one's a dog, but what's that first emoji? What the hell is that? Oops. I went to the wrong thing. Oh, I got Rocket Man, but I haven't seen it. A Dead Ant and the Wolf Cop movies. Those are great. Frankenfish. I love Frankenfish. VFW. Ready or Not. Got the Beverly Hills Cops. Of course, I got Anna and the Apocalypse. Got Deadpool. Pretty sure I got both Deadpools on here. I got all the Jurassic Parks. Love those movies. 47 Meters Down, which I call this a M. Night Shyamalan ripoff because that ending has a freaking M. Night Shyamalan twist on it. I got both Red movies. Those are good. And that's about it. Got some Ninja Turtles in there. It kind of looks like a monkey emoji. Oh, what is... Oh, I guess that's a dog. Okay. A dog and a dog. I'll leave it. Oh, never mind. I'll take it down. And the dog is in the house now, so if the Alexa goes off, she will be barking. She was outside hanging with my husband that got trapped by her neighbor. The old man that talks its head off. I think he's mowing the backyard, and then he's got to put some chemicals down on the grass because my dog has an allergy to something that last year got so bad that she was starting to lose some fur. So we're going to try to stay on top of it. It doesn't start getting bad until fall, but we try to keep chemicals down to keep the weeds, to try to help with her allergies because, oh my goodness, it's just like her pills are just outrageous. Oh, for the longest time I was getting them through the vet, and I think they're like almost $100 at the vet. But we found out that Walmart carries them, and they're only like $40 if you buy them from Walmart. So I was like spending $100 a month on her allergy pills, and then I guess I don't know if Walmart always had them or if they just started carrying them. But yeah, last year my husband was laid off, and I haven't been able to work for like over a year, so we wasn't able to get her allergy pills, and I did the best I could to. I was doing Benadryl and trying to keep her as good as possible without her pills, and she ended up losing quite a bit of fur. She had like a huge patch on her side that was almost gone, like really thinned out because she's got a double coat. It's just, oh my goodness, it was so bad. Let's see. They're talking about a Fantastic Beast. Fantastic Beasts 4 in doubt as director David Yates moves on to Pain Hustlers. Well, that's what you get. I'm sorry, but that's what you get. Shouldn't have did what you did. Because nobody's going to watch Fantastic Beasts when you freaking replace Johnny Depp. And now I understand if he gets convicted or whatever, they do it, but there was convicting him before there wasn't even a trial. And then you find out that the stupid cow lied. I shouldn't call her a cow, but you know. I've been watching the trial. I shockingly I watch a lot of trials. I but I'm like super fascinated with it. So I don't just watch clips and stuff. I've watched actual like trials on TV like from start to finish. I'm kind of interested in that stuff. So I don't talk about them much because some of the trials I watch are controversial, and so I know the truth behind some of them, but so I won't say ones I've watched, but I do. I watch the Johnny Depp one like every day, and even when I go, because it's not over when I go pick up my son from school, so I'll pop it on my phone, and I got my phone. I got a little thing that can hook my phone to the dashboard, so I'm listening to the trial as I go to pick him up. But yeah, I watch that all the time. But yeah, I'm fascinated with that stuff. But I'll try. I don't even talk to people for the most part about some of the trials because they're like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." It's like, bitch, please. I've been watching what's actually happening. You're going by what the news is telling you. There's a difference about what's happening and what the news tells you. I'm sorry, but there is. And not just with the Depp trial. I'm talking about pretty much any trial. That's why all trials should be visible to the public, where you could see what's actually happening, or you could see like sometimes the lawyers do some shady shit. So yeah, the public needs to be able to see this stuff. Now I understand why there's some like federal trials and like where kids are, I don't know how I want to word injured. I understand why some of those are not televised, but other than that, it should be televised. People need to be able to view any and all trials except, the ones that obvious reasons don't want them posted. But yeah, I hate that. I keep my opinions to myself because people's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, bitch, please. I know a lot more than what you think I know. But I'll let you think that I'm an idiot and I won't speak up. Oh, have you guys seen this candy that's on Hulu? We don't have Hulu at the moment, but I've seen a lot of people as based on a true crime. But Joe Bob has actually wrote like the true crime story that is based on this movie. But yeah, this true crime thing actually happened, and Joe Bob he's wrote some true crime books and whatnot. So he had actually wrote a book about that story. And now they made a movie. I think it's a movie, or is it a TV show? Let me scroll back up. All episodes now stream. Okay, it's a TV show. It's called Candy. I don't know if anybody's seen it yet, but if you have, Joe Bob wrote that story. Obviously, he didn't take part or was not involved in any of that crime, but I know there was a ID. I forget where we saw this, but there was an ID like documentary thing talking about. I think it was like a half-hour show. I don't remember what it was called, but it talked about the true crime basis behind that movie is before this movie was announced. And Joe Bob was actually on there talking about his book. Obviously, they called him by his real name, John Bloom, but I'm just kind of scrolling, see if there's anything, because I'm just kind of babbling on about whatever comes to my mind. I need to find something else to talk about before I end up saying something that's going to get me in trouble. Because I try my best to keep my opinions to myself, because I will. I already got enough rumors about me that's killed my channel. I'm not seeing too much else going on. Just trying to find something. Oh, I saw this picture. It said the fish house. I was like, what? But it was something from the memories of Peoria, Illinois. I don't know why I follow that page, because I didn't grow up and barely even been to Peoria. It was just nearby to my hometown. I'm not even sure why I follow that page. I must have had something interesting on there for me to follow that page. It's like an alligator or something attacking, or getting ready to attack something. I better not play that. My luck will end up getting graphic. Then that'll be a no-no. Yeah, you tell him, Rogue. Say, whoa, 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 whoa. See, my friends are outside barking, so I want to bark too. And I'm not seeing anything else. I'm getting too deep in this. But I guess we've been at an hour 39 almost. Does anybody have any news or anything they want to bring up before we head out? It's almost 8 o'clock. I can get some dinner in our bellies. At least that's if my computer dropped my phone. It's 7:30. I think we did good. We went over some news articles, talked about some movies. I got Rogue barking at her friends outside. Everybody bailed. Okay. Alright, so we're going to head it out. Then, if nobody's got anything they want to bring up. But yeah, any news or anything going on in the community you want to be brought up, now's the time, because I am about ready to flip it off. Okay. And out we go.